Oh, Delores. We were almost robbed and I was practically murdered.
You'll be all right now, Aunt Maria. As soon as I get you untied, I'll call the police.
Calling car 17. Calling car 17. Go to 2100 Artuga Road. A robbery.
Now tell me just what happened. Here's the police. You can tell them, too.
So what's the trouble here?
There's been a robbery. You got here very quickly, officer.
Oh, yeah, I happened to be in the neighborhood when the police call was broadcast. Now, tell me all about it.
Well, I'm Miss Quantero.
Yes, I know you, Miss Quantero. Who doesn't? Now, who was robbed and what they get?
You must apprehend that bandit, officer. I've been beaten, humiliated, and insulted.
Oh, I see. You were here when the burglar broke in.
What are you doing here, Roberts?
My job, Inspector, getting a story.
Well, isn't this gentleman a police officer?
He's neither a policeman nor a gentleman. He's a nosy reporter from the Bulletin. He picks up police broadcasts and tries to beat us to the scene of the crime.
And usually does. Not only to the scene, but to the solution of the crime.
All right, Miss Quantero. What happened?
Well, my aunt, Miss Martinez, was here alone when an armed man came through the French window.
Yes, he was a very brutal-looking creature with a large gun and a most revolting manner.
Just a moment, lady. I'll get around to you.
He threatened her, then tied her up and started searching the room. I don't know what he was looking for. There's nothing of any great value here. Fortunately, I arrived in time to disarm him and chase him out.
You what?
I took away his gun and he ran out.
Oh, be your age, Grogan. Miss Quantero's very good at jiu-jitsu. You'd know that if you read the bulletin.
What did this man look like?
Well, he was about 6'1", weighed about 195 pounds, about 40 years old, wearing a light tweed suit, dark hat, dark tie, light shirt.
I'm looking for a pair of English dueling pistols.
Sorry, sir, but we don't have any. Perhaps Mr. Manning could tell you where to find some. He's in his office.
Did you get the book?
No, the girl came back too soon. She's a wildcat.
Spare me the details. You failed on the most important mission you ever had. Sit down and listen. This isn't one of your cheap racketeering jobs with a few $1,000s at stake. We're playing for the ownership of a sizable part of this city. A matter of millions.
You didn't tell me that.
I'm telling you now. In the 18th century, the King of Spain made a grant of about 10 acres of land in the heart of this city to Don Quantero and his heirs for all time. Well, that grant is still good, still legal. And I am one of the descendants of old Don Q.
Then you're heir to this property.
Yes, but there are many other descendants. Fortunately, I have the advantage. None of them knows of the existence of the King's grant, whereas I have it.
Well, why can't you cash in on your share?
Well, my share alone would not be very large, and there are other difficulties. The present owners of the property purchased it in good faith, and some of my relatives may not wish to cooperate in taking it away from these innocent parties.
I get it. Your relatives will have to be removed. Who are they?
I only know a few of them. That is why I must have the book I sent you after. It is the family tree of the Quanteros, and Delores has the only known copy. It'll give us the name of all the heirs of Don Q. After they have been eliminated, and the King's grant suddenly discovered, Carlos Manning will be the only living heir.
How about letting me knock off this Delores girl first?
No. She's too prominent, both socially and in the world of sports. Her death would start an investigation which might uncover our whole scheme. So we must start with some of the others. And to do so, we need the book containing the family tree, which you failed to get. Get in touch with Sam Sloan and tell him that I...
Delores, listen to this. On the very front page of the bulletin. Delores Quantero beats would-be bandit. Society girl chases thief. When a daylight marauder entered the home of Delores Quantero on Artuga Road, he found he had picked the wrong hen coop.
Yes, Aunt Maria, I've read it.
How dare that young scamp refer to this hacienda as a hen coop?
I talked to him on the phone. He promised to come out here this morning and apologize.
Young men of today are all hoodlums. The art of being a gentleman has been forgotten. Hen coop. To think that I should ever live to hear the descendants of Don Quantero referred to as poultry.
This is Mr. Chandler, a writer.
A newspaper writer?
Why, no, I write historical articles.
I see. At least you do not slander people while they are still alive.
Please excuse my aunt. She's a little upset over an article she read in this morning's paper. Now, what was it you wanted?
I'm writing a history of the old Spanish families of the Southwest, and I thought you might be able to help me. Do you have any old letters or records of the Quanteros?
Well, I have a genealogy of the family, but it's the only copy in existence. I couldn't loan it to anyone.
I'd appreciate it if I could look it over and make a few notes.
Certainly. Won't you sit down? This is authentic and up to date. It includes all the descendants of Don Quantero. There's some paper and some pencils. Please handle the family tree carefully, will you?
This is splendid. I won't be long.
Mr. Roberts, this is Mr. Edward Chandler. Mr. Chandler is writing a history of our Spanish families and using my genealogy as a reference. I hope he'll treat the Quanteros with more respect than you do.
The last time I saw Mr. Chandler, he was on trial for a confidence racket. He was known as Sam Sloan then, alias Slick Sam. He's just as slick as ever.
He got the family tree.
Now, just take it easy. He almost got the family.
That genealogy is simply a family record. I can't imagine why anybody would want to steal it.
What's this?
That man was evidently copying these names from the family tree. Someone is taking an unusual interest in the descendants of old Don Q.
The glory of the Spanish Don soon dwindled after they came to America. They lost their grandiloquent titles, married, and became Browns, Smiths, and Joneses. Rich men, poor men, beggarmen, and thieves.
Yeah, but when do we start knocking them off?
Well, we must select our victims carefully. Starting with some of the more obscure names whose connection with the Quanteros is not immediately evident. The method will depend upon the personality and habits of the individual. The old and destitute, well, they're likely to commit suicide. The young and reckless often stumble into unfortunate accidents, which will be recognized as such by the police.
Thanks for fixing it for me to get this gun from me.
That's all right. But remember, gathering news and making news is two different things.
Okay, Inspector.
Yes? Miss Quantero to see you, Inspector.
I'm busy. Get rid of her. All right, let her come in.
Hello, Delores.
Thanks for seeing me.
What can I do for you?
I want to read you something out of this morning's paper. The body of Celia Radcliffe, an aged news vendor, was found floating in the harbor last night. There was a suicide note in his pocket.
Yes, I know about that. I'm sorry for the old gentleman, but...
Wait. This one happened last week. James Morton, well known in nightclub circles, was run down and killed by a hit-and-run driver at the intersection of 3rd and Clymer Streets.
we're searching for the driver. What do you want me to do?
I want you to find the murderer of both these men. Their names were on the list that Sam Sloan was copying from the Quantero family tree. Isn't it perfectly plain that they were murdered?
Not to me. Both these cases were handled by the coroners. Listen close. I can't reopen them on a hunt.
What do you think?
Well, I'm afraid he's right. Unless you can produce more evidence.
I will. And without help of either of you.
It seems we're not very popular.
No. But this actually seemed to gather around that girl. I'll see you later.
What do you want?
I want to help you find the Quantero relatives.
But you agreed with the inspector.
Not I. It's obvious that someone is after the scalps of the Quantero tribe. It's a big story, and I'm going to beat Grogan to it. What's your plan?
There are two more names on the Sloan list. Thomas Moran and Juan Perez. They must be found and warned. Neither of them is in the telephone directory.
Well, that's easy. We run down all the Morans who are listed. One of them may lead us to Tom. Then we start on the Perez's.
Oh, but that'll take all day.
All night, too, probably. But we'll get him. Come on, let's go.
Bullseye this time. Tom Moran's the bartender in there. I warned him of his danger, and he'll take steps to protect himself.
Does he know Juan Perez?
Yes, Perez drives the truck for a hauling concern out on North Broadway. Come on, let's go.
You want Perez?
Yeah?
Got a load of furniture in Glenwood that has to be moved tonight.
Sorry, but I've got a job that'll take me until midnight.
But this is important. I'll pay you double.
I'd like to make it, mister, but not tonight.
Sit tight.
Get the truck started. I'll keep him pinned down.
I'm going aboard.
Whoever made this attack on you was trying to kill all the descendants of Don Q.
This is terrible. They should be warned.
It's hard to locate them. Have you any other relatives out here?
Only Moran, who gave you my address. And oh, yes, Carlos Manning, a distant cousin of mine. He has an antique shop over on 3rd Street.
Good. Let's get over there right away. Maybe his shop is still open.
Yes, you'd better hurry. I'm all right now.
Why should anyone want to kill the descendants of Don Q?
I don't know. Except that it must have some connection with the book containing the Quantero family tree that was stolen from my house.
I've been wondering if it couldn't be the revival of some old family feud.
Oh, that's a bit fantastic, I'm afraid. Of course, the old-time Quanteros and their neighbors were hot-tempered and vindictive. I've even read that there was bad blood between them and the Peraltas.
You're confirming my theory. Some neurotic Peralta may still be nursing a grudge against the Quanteros.
If that's true, every Quantero who is traceable from the family tree is in danger.
That's right. And the best way to warn them is by publishing the story in my newspaper.
I'll drive you to your office, Cliff. Good night, Carlos. And be careful.
I shall. Good night.
Good night, Manning.
Mayor Perez is still alive.
You near the Quanteros will stay alive unless you let me knock off that girl and that newspaper reporter.
I'm going to let you knock them off. We need no longer be afraid that the killing of the notable senorita will be traced to me. Roberts has given me the motive for her death in the feud.
It's going to be a tough job. That Roberts is no slouch with a gun. And Dolores can handle herself anywhere with that jiu-jitsu of hers.
They won't have a chance to use either when they walk into a little trap I've been thinking about. And the other Quanteros will knock over like 10 pins. I'll see that Don Quantero's Spanish grant is discovered. And as his only living heir, I shall become the wealthiest landowner in the city.
I know all of that. But what about the trap?
That's simple. Get in touch with Rosa Peralta. Have her persuade Dolores to come to her apartment and...
I'm glad you've come, my dear. Won't you please sit down?
I got the boss's message and laid the phone hook up. What's it all about?
Smart play to use a girl to trap Roberts. He just got out of one trap we set for him. It's going to take mighty good bait to get him into another one.
Police Department.
This is Delores Quantero. I'm being held prisoner in a warehouse at 1854 Front Street.
Okay. We'll send the squad car out right away. Throw the switch on.
The police are combing the city. Inspector Grogan said he'd call us if they got any lead. Hello.
This is Delores Quantero. I'm being held prisoner in a warehouse at 1854 Front Street.
Dolores, are you all right? Dolores?
What did you say?
She's in trouble. I'm going after her.
Come on, we're going to prepare a little reception for your boyfriend.
What do you mean?
I recorded your message to the police and played it back over the phone for Robert. Gallant rescuer opens the door, it'll pull the rope that fires the whale gun. It'll look like one of them fancy killings they do in a vendetta.
All set.
Good.
Toss your guns away. raise your hands. So you know Donovan has a record so long.
I'll take this to Helen. She may know him.
Helen? I don't get it.
She's a girl I've known for a long time who got to traveling with the wrong people. She ended up by serving a term in the penitentiary.
Oh.
I helped her get a parole and start a beauty parlor, and she's very grateful. She knows most of the underworld characters around town, and if she can recognize Donovan from this picture, she'll help us find him. She said that she remembers having seen Donovan occasionally at the El Diablo Cafe. He seemed greatly interested in the knife throwing act they have there.
Well, good. We'll have a look at that cafe.
Sorry. I don't remember this man. If crooks come to my place, I do not know them. Why don't you come here and stay until you see your man?
Oh, I'd be spotted first thing.
Wait. Why not let me do the spotting?
Oh, impossible. Why, if Donovan saw
But
you...
he won't see me.
You'll play the invisible woman, I suppose.
Practically so. I could wear your partner's costume and mask and take her place in the act. Then I could watch everyone who comes in the place without being recognized.
You'd be crazy to risk it.
Not so crazy if the senorita has nerves of steel.
Try me.
Or go up on the stage.
You're good, too.
Yes, you are perfect. When will you start?
Tonight. Donovan's here. The man in the gray suit sitting at the center of the bar. I'll phone Cliff. You keep him here as long as possible.
I'll do my best, senorita. Leaving so soon, senor?
Yeah, there's nothing to hang around here for.
Oh, but our thrilling knife act is going on again soon.
Knife act, yeah, but thrilling, It's out of date as last year's campaign button.
You speak like an expert.
I've tossed a few in my day, but good.
Perhaps as good as this? No? Excuse, please.
Perhaps as good as that, yes.
Let me buy you a drink.
Just one. I gotta get going.
A drink for my friend.
Is he still here?
Yes.
Good.
Wouldn't it be better to trail him? He might lead you to his boss.
Right as usual.
Manning wants to see me.
He's in his office.
Get him up, Donovan. Please call Mr. Manning.
Please tell me what this is all about.
That man is one of the crowd that's trying to murder off the Quanteros. He came here to get you.
How'd you happen to be here?
We set a trap for him at the El Diablo Cafe. Delores took the place of the girl in the knife act, and when Donovan showed up, she phoned me and I followed him here.
Thanks for saving my life.
Think nothing of it. But you better be on your guard from now on.
Oh, I will.
I've just got time to get back to the office to write up the story. I have to meet Delores after the last show. So long.
Good night, and thanks again. Lucky for you, he didn't know why I was here. Also lucky another way. Now you can kill Delores and put the blame on Romero. Now, you go back to El Diablo. Take Romero's place in the night bag. And when Delores...
the Acromero.
Donovan!
You realize that the interference of my cousin Delores and Cliff Roberts has not only delayed my collecting the Quantero millions, but has been very expensive. We need more money to carry on.
Okay, give me a couple of days to case a job and get the right men.
The job is cased and the right men engaged. You're going to remove a shipment of gold bullion from the Coast Express tonight.
You mean stick up a train?
No, wreck it. Steal the gold during the ensuing confusion. You'll find Ned Gray, the explosive expert, at your cottage preparing the necessary equipment. Sarko and Walters will meet you at Waterman Junction.
Right. I'll get out of town before your cousin and that reporter spots me again.
Don't worry, they're probably still trying to pick up your trail.
Hello? Oh, hello, Cliff. How are you making out?
We found Donovan's coat in Romero's dressing room. There was nothing in the pocket, but I found a cleaner's mark, so I started checking every cleaner in town. I finally located the right one, and he gave me Donovan's address, 227 Pine Lane.
Oh, that's wonderful. What do we do now?
You mean, what do I do now? I'm going right over there. I'll call you later and let you know what happened.
Well, all right. Whatever you say. But be careful.
Okay, Roberts, let's go inside. Maybe you can get a better look. I said get inside.
Who's this?
Roberts, a newspaper reporter. He'd like to put our names in the paper. Get a rope. Time up.
Come on, let's get the truck loaded.
What are you going to do with this lug?
Plenty, but not here. I'll take him to Waterman Junction with me.
Okay, that's enough. Come on. We'll put them in the truck.
Promised you'd be careful.
I will be, but I must find out what happened to Cliff. He should have called me hours ago. I'm going out to that Pine Lane address and see for myself.
All set, Donovan.
Good. Let's get this car on the track, and I've got the explosives in the truck, along with an excess piece of baggage Cliff Roberts. We'll send him with a load. Express will be through in exactly 9 minutes. 5 minutes, we'll start the work car. Let's get Roberts out and put him on.
Right.
You, Miss Quantero, you were going a little too fast for your own safety. What's the hurry?
I need help, Groverty. Cliff Roberts of the Bulletin has been kidnapped. They've got him out at Waterman Junction.
Keep going. We'll follow you.
Thank you.
In just 2 minutes, we'll send you and this load of destruction to meet the express. Head on. There when the train comes through. Walter, send her down the track. We'll keep it covered.
Got the work car started. It'll crash to the Coast Express head on.
I'll take the girl's car and stop it.
got to stop that car at the crossing. The train's coming.
Pinned down. I'll try and get around behind him.
Get in, Miss Quantero.
Just in time to make the morning papers.
you see the morning paper?
I'm only interested in where Donovan is.
Well, that's where he is, in the morning paper and in jail.
Says that Grogan's going to give Donovan a grilling and make him tell who's behind the Quantero murders.
Well, suppose Donovan does talk. It's only his word against yours.
Not if they find out there's a Spanish grant giving the most valuable part of this city to the Quanteros. Knowing that, even a child could figure out why my relatives are being killed. There's only some way of finding out just how much Donovan tells them.
Well, that won't be easy. They'll probably grill him in Grogan's office, and you couldn't get near the place.
Wait a minute. I know how I can listen in on them without getting into the place.
Would you say that again?
I know a deaf man, Lippy Monroe. Why, he could hear people on the moon talk if he could see their lips. Who's talking now, Lippy?
Grogan. But I can't read what he's saying if I have to watch you. Grogan just told Donovan there are 2 witnesses to his crime. He's headed for the gas chamber unless he tells who's behind him.
What did Donovan say? What did Donovan say?
Well, he looked like he was going to crack. But then he said he didn't know what Grogan was talking about.
First gunman I ever met that was stupid enough to take the whole rap by himself.
Why don't you ask him about his sidekick, Zarko?
My dear young lady, I'm afraid you've spilled the beans. I was going to play them against each other. Donovan, you thought Zarko was killed in that gun battle at the junction. But he wasn't. The doctors are bringing him around, and he'll probably sing the whole tune.
Grogan said Zarko was living.
But Zarko was killed. They're trying to trap Donovan.
Well, they've got him plenty worried. Looks like Donovan was bringing him. He made him think he was going to break and then ask for a ham sandwich.
What did Grogan say?
He said they were taking him over to the grand jury room in half an hour.
That's what I've been waiting to hear. Come on.
Got your gas gag as soon as I saw your outfit.
I'll hold them off.
so peaceful and quiet the last 2 weeks.
Too quiet.
Why do you say that?
I'm afraid it's just a lull before the storm. We know that someone is trying to murder all the Quanteros, but since the book containing the family tree was stolen, we're helpless. There's no way to locate my relatives and warn them of the danger.
The Bible.
What's wrong, Aunt Maria? What about the Bible?
My mother's. She kept a record of all branches of the Quantero family. I've just remembered it.
Where is it?
In the bookcase.
Here we are. Philip Castillo, born 45 years ago.
But to find him...
If he lives here, he'll be listed in the city directory. Here it is. Philip Castillo, cashier, Chemical Supply Company, 414 Front Street. Are you Mr. Castillo?
No, he's in the office.
Thank you. Mr. Castillo?
Yes, Miss,
Delores Quantero, a distant cousin on your mother's side.
Oh, it makes me very happy to meet you. Won't you sit down?
I came here to warn you that your life is in danger.
My life? Surely you're joking.
The life of anyone of Quantero blood is in danger.
But why?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. At present, all I know is that several of our relatives have been killed. Others attacked, for no apparent reason.
Thank you for the warning. I shall take every precaution.
Good. Do you know any others who should be warned?
Sorry, no. But wait. I received this a few days ago and answered it yesterday. It's from a cousin I've never seen, Emilio Raymond, a Quantero on his mother's side. He just moved to town last week and he's seeking employment.
If you'll give me his address, I'll warn him too.
Gladly. 6712 Spencer Street.
6712 Spencer Street. Thank you. I'll go out there right away. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Check that with Castillo's handwriting.
To my employer, I've been playing the races with your money. I'm short $50,000 in my accounts, and I'm taking the only way out. Philip Castillo. That's a perfect job of forgery, Raymond. Castillo himself couldn't tell them apart.
Who is this Castillo, and why the bump off?
He's a Quantero, as well as cashier of the Chemical Supply Company. We'll bump him off and grab the dough at the same time. This note will make it look like suicide. No one will suspect us.
A good system. Want me to go along with you?
No, this is Saturday afternoon, and Castillo will be there by himself. Rollins and I can handle the job.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
I'm Delores Quantero.
Won't you come in?
I got your name from Philip Castillo. I'm trying to warn all the Quantero descendants that their lives are in danger.
Thanks for your trouble, but I was already warned. I read the article about it in the bulletin.
Oh, you did? What did it say?
Oh, something about a feud between the Quanteros and the Terras family.
Oh, yes, I remember. By the way, which of the Quantero sons are you descended from? Alfonso or Pedro?
Alfonso.
That's very interesting. since there was no Alfonso or Pedro either.
Well,
I thought you were a fraud when you mentioned the feud story in the bulletin. It appeared 6 weeks ago. But you wrote Castillo that you had just arrived in town.
It's too bad for you, sister.
Lift him, Castillo. Open that safe.
I refuse. Wait. I'll open it.
I thought you would.
Now, what was your reason for writing Philip Castillo? So it's murder and a forged suicide note.
Yeah, but you're too late to stop it.
I can try.
Better see who that is and stall him.
I'm Cliff Roberts of the Bulletin. Is Mr. Castillo in?
No, he leaves at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Do you know if Miss Quantero saw him before he left?
Don't know. Just got here myself.
Thanks.
Am I glad to see you? How did you happen to be here?
Well, your aunt told me you were coming here. But why the rush? Castillo left at noon.
Oh, no, he didn't. He's right over there if he isn't dead already.
Now, Mr. Castillo, since you stole the money, you'll have to pay for your crime.
But you took the money, not I.
But you'll be to blame when they find this suicide note and your body.
Hold it, everyone. Get their guns. Mr. Castillo, phone the police.
arrived sooner. Mr. Costello would have...
I know, but there's nothing we can do about that now. You'd better go home and get some rest. I'll be over as soon as I report this to the police.
Okay, Roberts, keep driving and don't try anything or I'll break your neck. Drive out to the Vengeance Mine. Get out. Start walking. Boys, here's Roberts. Now we can work out that scheme the boss cooked up. Better stand guard outside. Okay, Roberts. Got a little job for you. You're going to write a note to Inspector Grogan.
What sort of a note?
You're going to tell him that Delores Quantero committed the Quantero murders. That you've just been stringing along with her in order to get enough evidence to hang her.
Why, you're crazy.
You're also going to say that you know your life won't be worth a plug nickel if the young lady finds out what you're up to. So you're writing this note in case anything happens to you.
Donovan, you're even dumber than I thought. You know that note would be my death warrant. You'd kill me the moment I sign it.
Maybe. But if you don't write it, I'll kill you anyhow. But very slowly.
I get your point, Donovan. Okay, I'll write it.
D1 calling M1. D1 calling M1.
Come in, D1.
I got Roberts and we're working out your plan. He's writing the note now.
Excellent. When you've finished with him, place the body in his car and wreck it at a point where it'll be easily found.
Okay.
How's this?
Put on your coat.
Smith's dead.
Yeah, so's Roberts, but we gotta get him out of there. I need his body.
It might take days to dig him out. Why not use Smith's body?
That's not a bad idea. Sure. We'll fix Smith's body so it can't be identified and leave Roberts' coat alongside of it, with this note in the pocket. When we find that evidence, Miss Quantero will really be on a spot.
Won't you sit down, Inspector, and tell me what this is all about?
When did you see Cliff Roberts last?
A few hours ago.
Where is he now?
Well, isn't he at his office?
No. Cliff Roberts is in the morgue.
In the morgue? Why, that's impossible.
Well, we found a charred body in Roberts' car. Recognize his coat?
Well, that's Cliff's all right.
It's his, all right. We found it near the car. The body was burned beyond recognition. The coat must have dropped out when the car crashed.
The whole thing looks suspicious to me. You haven't identified the body, so how can you be sure it's Cliff?
I thought you'd ask that. You've been very clever, Miss Quantero. But you missed one thing. We found this in the pocket of Robert's coat. Listen. To Inspector Grogan, Police Headquarters. In case I am murdered, this note will tell you that Delores Quantero did the Quantero killings. I'm playing along with her to gather enough evidence to hang her. She may suspect me and give it to me at any time. But if I go, she'll get hers too. Vengeance is mine. I will repay. Signed, Cliff Roberts.
Well, that's Cliff's handwriting, all right. But don't you see that someone must have made him write the note? Vengeance is mine. I will repay. There's something very strange about a hard-boiled reporter quoting scripture.
Save it for the jury.
Vengeance is mine. Vengeance mine. There is a vengeance mine out on Highway 66. It's a long shot, but it's worth trying.
Wait a minute. You're not trying anything on me. I have a warrant for your arrest on a charge of murdering Cliff Roberts. Police Headquarters. This is Inspector Grogan. Put out a broadcast to pick up Delores Quantero. She's wanted for murder. She stole my car and is headed for the vengeance mine on Highway 66.
Be on the lookout for this girl. She's wanted for murder. That is all.
Car number 5 reporting.
Come in, car 5.
Officer Angus speaking. I'm heading for the vengeance mine.
The boss wants to be sure Roberts is dead. Let's take him out.
Roberts must still be alive. He's trying to dig out.
Let him dig. We'll blast him when he comes out.
Get your hands up. Throw your guns out here. Where's Cliff Roberts?
Finish her. All right, boys, that's enough. Finish her. All right, boys, that's enough.
You're wanted for murder. Anything you say?
Oh, no, wait a minute. She hasn't killed anyone. I'm supposed to be her victim, and I'm still alive.
Yeah, that's your story. You'll have to tell it to Inspector Grogan. Get going.
No, fortunately for me, Dolores was able to read my code message and come to my rescue. Otherwise, the bulletin would have lost its most valuable man, and another Quantero would have had her neck in the noose.
Okay, I was wrong. But I still don't see how all this proves a concerted plot to destroy the Quantero family. Suspicion, yes. Odd coincidences, yes. But concrete evidence, not a scrap.
Since the family tree was stolen from my house, a number of mysterious deaths have occurred among the Quantero relatives. I call them murder.
With nothing but a hunch to prove it.
Right. But working on that hunch, we decided to warn all the family connections we could find.
Perez drives the truck for a hauling concern out on North Broadway. Come on, let's go.
You Juan Perez?
Yeah?
Got a load of furniture in Glenwood that has to be moved tonight.
Sorry, but I've got a job that'll take me until midnight.
But this is important. I'll pay you double.
I'd like to make it, mister, but not tonight.
Truck started. I'll keep him pinned down.
Close in on him. I'm going aboard. Escaped.
Of course. And you were very heroic and very silly. You ought to have had your full neck broken.
That would have been tough on you, Grogan. But you couldn't run this department without me.
I'd like a chance to try. All you've proven is that a racketeer named Donovan is pursuing his usual occupation.
Not at all. We've proved that a hired gunman named Donovan is attempting to destroy an entire family. Don't keep dodging the issue. I myself was supposed to be the next victim. I was taken to a place on the waterfront where they used me to lure Cliff into their trap.
When your gallant rescuer opens the door, it'll pull the rope that fires the whale gun. It'll look like one of them fancy killings they do in a vendetta. All set. Good.
Toss your guns away. Now raise your hands.
Then, Inspector, are you convinced?
It does look as if someone's trying to wipe out you Quanteros, but there doesn't seem to be any motive.
Well, Carlos Manning told us that he had an old history of the Dons in California, in which a feud between the Quanteros and the Peraltas was mentioned.
Probably won't help much. Can you get a hold of that book?
I'm sure we can. Cliff and I will go see Carlos right away.
Sure. Bye, Inspector.
Quantero girl and Cliff Roberts just drove up.
Keep working. I'll take care of them. Hello. What can I do for you?
Hello, Carlos. I'd like to borrow the history of the Dons that you said mentioned an old feud between the Quantero and Peralta families.
Well, that's odd. This is the third inquiry I've had about the book. Unfortunately, I sold it last week.
Is there any way we can locate the buyer?
Yes, there is. He first called about the book and left his name and phone number. I believe I have it right here. Yes, here it is. Jake Simmons, Fairfax 86495. I'll call him for you.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Simmons. Carlos Manning at the antique shop.
What's the game, Chief?
My cousin, Delores Quantero, would like to borrow the history of the Dons I sold you. She'll call for it in a short time.
I get it. Jake's here now. Is she bringing that nosy reporter with her?
Yes. I'll appreciate anything you can do for her.
I can do plenty.
Simmons said you're welcome to keep the volume as long as you need it.
Well, thanks, Manning.
I'll let you know if we find out anything. How do you do? Are you Mr. Simmons?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Delores Quantero, and this is Mr. Roberts of the Bulletin. Mr. Manning phoned you about our coming.
Yes, Miss Quantero. I have the book right here. Would you come in, please?
Donovan got away without anybody seeing him.
Well, that's not very encouraging. Did they identify the man who fell out of the window?
Yes, but it didn't do us much good. He's in the rogues gallery as Jake the bridegroom. His racket is marrying lonesome ladies and then deserting him when he got their dough.
I wonder if any of the ladies he left waiting at the church will attend his funeral.
I doubt it. But some of them may send him orange blossoms.
Cliff, Jake was wearing a sprig of orange blossoms in his buttonhole when he was killed. That means he'd just been married again.
Sure, making some woman wife and widow all on the same day. Why the excitement?
Well, she may have his effects or know some of his acquaintances.
No. He probably used a phony preacher and a forged license. How would you find the widow?
By putting an ad in the personal columns of the newspapers.
The widow of Jake Simmons will learn something to her advantage if she'll be in the El Diablo Cafe between 11 and 12 o'clock tonight. Signed, DQ.
What do you make of it?
Evidently, Delores is trying to uncover me through Jake's widow.
Not a chance. Jake used a different name every time he got hitched. His latest love don't even know she's a widow.
It should make it easy for us to furnish a bereaved wife for the rendezvous with Delores. Tell Knockout Nellie I want her to dig up some widow's weeds. I've got a little job for her tonight in the El Diablo Cafe.
Right.
Are you Mrs. Zimmerman?
I was until death do us part.
I sympathize with you deeply. I'm Delores Quantero.
Pleased to meet you. I saw your ad in the paper about poor old Jake.
I'm afraid Jake wasn't everything you thought he was, my dear. You mean he was cheating on me? That's right. If I could have a look at some of his effects, I might be able to save you a lot of wasted grief.
Listen, lady, I love Jake, but I'm no sap and I'd like the lowdown. He left some papers and things in my apartment. What do you say we go up and look them over?
Fine. I have a friend outside who'll drive us there.
Well, my apartment's just up the alley, and Pete here's a friend of mine. He'll escort us.
I couldn't very well leave my friend waiting.
You're among friends already. Come on, out the back door.
Oh, my throat is sort of dry.
Drop it.
I'll call the police, senor.
No, wait a minute. Maybe this woman would like to talk before the police get here. Lock the door.
What's wrong?
Cliff robbers busted in just as we were taking the dame away. They've got Nellie a prisoner.
That's bad. If Nellie cracks up, she can spill everything. Get to a phone and tell Manning. I'll see what I can do.
But can't we make you understand? The police won't hold you for what happened here tonight if Dolores refuses to appear against you.
Look, I've been around. When people offer to do me favors, I get ready to run. She's not as hard-boiled as she pretends. The trouble is she's more afraid of some person than she is of the police.
Can't you see? You'll never be safe until this man you're afraid of is behind bars.
Well, all right. I am afraid of someone. Someone who's ordered the killing of a dozen people. And he'll kill me, too. Not if you tell us who he is. Okay. His name is...
Delores Quantero seems to have a charmed life.
Yes, she's our problem. There are only 2 others left. And with her out of the way, we could easily dispose of them. And you'd be the sole heir to the Quantero land grant.
So the obvious course is to eliminate her at once. This is a good day for her to die. It happens to be her birthday.
Birthday? What's that got to do with it?
Birthday present for Miss Quantero.
Careful.
Relax. Riggs said the bomb wouldn't explode unless the latch on the inside box is unfastened. And then...
Very clever. But she's clever, too. She might be suspicious and not open it.
She'll open it all right. This label says it's from Cliff Roberts.
Well, that's different.
Send this by special messenger. Then watch the hacienda from a safe place and report to me as soon as it's happened.
It'll be a pleasure.
Another present, dear. Oh, it's from Cliff. Oh, how nice.
I wonder what it is.
Well, why don't you open it?
You're too extravagant, young man. I was just opening your other present.
Other present, but I didn't send you another one.
Mr. Roberts is always joking.
But not this time.
Then you didn't send that?
Not I.
Well, it's a present, and I'm going to open it.
Oh, no.
Why not?
Whoever sent that used Cliff's name to be certain I'd open it at once.
That's right. It may contain poison gas or a bomb.
I think we'd better take it out into the hills and open it from a safe distance.
That's a very good idea. I have a gun in my car. We'll shoot it full of holes.
It would be better just to shoot the latch off.
But how? I don't hold any metal for sharp shooting, you know.
Pack it back in the box. I'll get something that'll do the trick. Ready?
Oh, so you're going to play Robin Hood?
Miss Robin Hood to you. We won't be gone long.
There's a slip-up somewhere. They've got the box. We'll have to follow them, look for a chance to knock them off. They're turning off. Stop over there.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if this thing turned out okay?
We'll soon know.
This'll do. me try it. What a present.
Let's go see if there's enough left of the box to give us a clue to the sender.
The bomb missed him, but we won't.
You stay here. I'll try to get behind them.
Go ahead. I'll cover you.
Roberts is trying to flank us. I'll stop him. You take care of the girl.
Plain typewritten label. No clues in that. Look, you can depend on a bulletin every time.
The bulletin?
The mailing sticker, see?
But it's torn. No name, only some figures.
Yes, but those figures are circulation numbers. Through them, the bulletin's mailing room can give me the subscriber's name.
Oh, then...
Sure. Let's get to a telephone and find the address.
Looking for someone?
Yeah, for a Mr. Riggs.
That's me, all right.
Oh, my name is Williams, and this is Fay Reagan, my partner. We run the Reagan dress shop.
Howdy.
Our business has been rather bad, and the insurance heavy, so we thought that...
We want you to rig up an incendiary bomb or two.
Well, you must have the wrong man. I'm an inventor, not a criminal.
Oh. Donovan must have given us the wrong steer.
Wait a minute. If Donovan sent you, that's different.
Sure he sent us. He said you just rigged up a bomb package for his boss.
Donovan's boss and I are old friends.
Shut up, Riggs.
What's the beef, Donovan?
This is Delores Quantero and her smart friend Cliff Roberts. How did you...
bomb failed to get Roberts and the girl, I trailed him to Riggs' place. He was just about to spill the works when I got there. How they found him, I'll never know. Well, they seem to have very good sources of information. Or at least they sure managed to figure out our plans. Frankly, they're dangerously hot on our trail. You'll have to watch them and learn what they're doing. I want you to have the girl followed and...
You're late, young lady. Window shopping, I suppose.
No, just exercising a woman's prerogative. I've been to the library and made a wonderful discovery. You know that portrait of Don Quantero? The big oil painting I have at home. Well, you may have noticed that in the picture, the Don holds a scroll in his hand.
What of it? Most old paintings have something of that sort in them.
But this one may be different. I went all through the Grandee collection and found an old book which said that the artist who painted this portrait was a master of detail. He even used to copy original documents into his pictures. What's more, the family motto is Fortunam in manu teneo.
Even I know enough Latin to translate that. I hold fortune in my hand.
That's right. Don't you see that the motto could be meant literally? And the scroll might contain some valuable information. Let's get back right away and look at it with a magnifying glass.
You're going to have some lunch first. I'd recommend the enchiladas. They're very good.
How can you talk about food at a time like this?
The painting has waited this long, it can wait another half hour.
Okay. You win, as usual.
Got your call. What's the rush? Deaf Ann phoned that Roberts and the girl are going to examine the Don Q portrait at the hacienda. So what? There may be a copy of the King's grant painted into the scroll in the Don's hand. I'd better get out there right away and grab it. No. That would only make them certain of its value. And we may need the picture later on as additional proof when I come to claim the grant. We can't have it on police records as stolen property. Now, this is a copy. It's an excellent duplicating job. Only an expert could tell the difference. This scroll is meaningless. No modern artist has the patience to make an identical copy of a document. You have 30 minutes to get out the hacienda and switch pictures. Okay, I can make it.
Here now, find a way to get in.
He's got that painting!
Back to the house. I'll get this bird.
He got away.
We saved the picture, at least. The scroll is nothing but a jumble of meaningless lines.
Now, there must be something valuable about this painting, or they wouldn't be trying to steal it. It's new canvas. How old did you say this painting is?
Over 100 years. When I last saw it, the back was old and faded. This one must be an imitation.
Someone grabbed the real one off while we were out there chasing that other fellow.
Of course. So thanks to your delay at lunch, I traded my birthright for a mess of enchiladas.
Well, there's no use crying over switched paintings. Now, if we could find out who painted this imitation, we'd get somewhere.
Carlos may be able to help us. He's in the art business and knows every painter in town.
Let's go see him.
And when we examined the portrait, we found that it was an imitation. The original had been stolen.
Oh, that's terrible. Have you any clues to the thief?
No, but we thought you might be able to help us. We want to locate the artist who painted the imitation. We thought you could give us some leads.
Well, I don't know. Morris Kelso specializes in imitations of the Quantero period. You might try him. The studio's in the Art Crafts building.
Well, thanks a lot. We'll get up there right away.
Thanks for the help, Carlos.
You're very welcome.
That's correct. As a matter of fact, I made several of these copies of the Quantero portrait.
You did? Who bought them from you?
Offhand, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. Just a moment, I'll look through my files.
and we were deliberately sent into a death trap.
You don't mean by Carlos Manning. He's a Quantero. Why would he want to destroy the family?
If I knew that, the rest would be easy. But one thing is certain. Only Manning and that clerk of his knew that we were coming here.
Oh, that's true. But it's not evidence that would convince Inspector Grogan or a jury.
Right. But maybe we can find some that will. The key to the mystery seems to be the portrait of Don Q. If we knew the picture was in Manning's possession, our case would be complete.
But if he did steal it, he probably has it well hidden.
Of course. So our job is to trick him into leading us to it. After I've notified the police of what happened here, I'll call Manning and tell him too. Then we can find a spot where we can keep an eye on his shop and see what he does.
Does Robert suspect you? No, fortunately he has more brawn than brains. But he's reported the loss of the picture to the police, and Grogan's going to comb the town for it.
Well, it'd be safe enough in your warehouse.
It isn't safe anywhere in this city. Police will search every art dealer's, pawn shop, museum, and warehouse, including mine. So get it out of there and catch the first train out of town.
Right.
Nothing's happening. Your theory seems to be losing.
Donovan.
That's another link in the chain that'll hang Manning. That's his warehouse.
And Donovan walked right into it.
Don't wrap it up, Donovan. We'd like to have a look at it. Turn around.
While you tie him up, I'll take a look at the scroll. Don's holding in his hand is a land grant from Charles III, King of Spain.
That's the answer to the $64 million question. And Manning and his ghouls have been slaughtering innocent people for this. After I've called the police...
I'll call the police. You get to Carlos Manning before he does a vanishing act.
You're right. Here. Keep an eye on that rat.
Operator, give me the police department, please.
Very well. I'll be ready for Mr. Roberts when he arrives.
You want me to take care of the girl?
Yes, but not there. Put her in a properly weighted packing case and drop her off the bridge on Sterling Road.
Right. Get a box big enough to put her in, tell Eddie to bring his truck around the door.
Roberts, you bring good news, I hope?
The worst news you'll hear until the judge pronounces your sentence. I found the picture of Don Q, and I read the scroll he's holding in his hand. Have you anything to say?
Only that if you attempt to draw that gun, you'll be instantly killed by my assistant, who's standing behind you.
You better raise your hands, Mr. Roberts. I'm very nervous with firearms.
You'd better give it up, Manning. You might be able to save your neck with a plea of insanity. Certainly no sane man could have hoped to make such a crackpot scheme succeed.
The crackpot scheme, as you term it, has succeeded. There are now only 2 living heirs to Don Q's millions. Myself and Delores Quantero. My dear cousin is, at this moment, being taken to the Sterling Road Bridge to be dropped into eternity.
That's an obvious lie.
It's the exact truth. I can tell you now because you'll join her there shortly. I'll cover you.
King's grant, Miss Quantero. It's been pronounced genuine by experts, and you're one of the richest young ladies in the country.
Are you sure this is the only copy of the deed in existence?
Positive?
All the people who think they own this property bought it in good faith. And I'm not going to dispossess it because of an old technicality.
But Delores, you can't. It's larceny. I mean, it's illegal.
And after all the trouble we went to, it's murder.
I think it's marvelous.
Is that so, smart guy? Well, where's your big story?
Right here, and it's a hot yarn. Good deed goes up in smoke while it grows and burns.